Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here again, and this time I'm going to review the movie Batman Year One. Okay, this is the most recent DC animated original movie coming out. It's basically Batman's first year as a crime fighter. Okay, Bruce Wayne has just returned to Gotham, and he's just recently figured out that he should use a bat to sort of be his symbol to spread fear amongst criminals. So so now he decides to be Batman. And at the same time, Bruce returns to Gotham. Jim Gordon has just been transferred to Gotham, and he discovers that there are a lot of corrupt cops on the force, and he needs to deal with this. And so basically the movie is just Batman and Jim Gordon, even though they're not really working together, Gordon's pretty much trying to get rid of the corrupted cops, and Batman is pretty much going after the mob. There's no supervillains, he's just going after the mob. It's a lot like, well, it is a lot how Batman Begins started off right before, without It's basically kind of like Batman Begins without the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul. Again, this is based off of the Frank Miller graphic novel Batman Year One, which is still taken as canon as Batman's first year. And I have to say, though, this movie does adapt this story arc very well. Okay, even the designs of the designs of the animation in this are exactly almost the same as the artwork in the graphic novel, and even the dialogue is just follows almost everything in the graphic novel so much that you could swear that instead of getting scripts, the voice actors were just given this to read. It's really amazing how wonderful this was adapted, and a lot of elements from Year One were used in Batman. Like I said earlier, a lot of elements from Year One were used in Batman Begins, the actual story, not the movie here, but it's still very great. However, I think a lot of people are going to notice that Year One does feature maybe as much or more Jim Gordon than Batman. Okay, because, well, I think it's good that most of the story does come from Jim Gordon's point of view because, well, you still get to see from Batman's point of view. It just feels like it's more time spent from Jim Gordon than Batman's perspective. And I like it, though, because, rather than just putting it in Batman's head, pretty much kind of addressing how he's going through this, they also include Jim Gordon, who's also pretty much... Jim Gordon is a very important figure to the Batman mythology. He's Batman's main connection with the police, and probably the reason why Batman still hasn't been arrested. And without Jim Gordon, though, Batman wouldn't have really been seen as much of a hero probably wouldn't have been seen as much of a hero because almost every other cop is out to get Batman, especially the corrupt ones, because they just want him out of the picture because he's taking down the mob. Okay, and also the voice casting in this. First of all, Ben McKenzie was Batman. He was good, just not... I thought he did a good job with it. Again, this is still like a young Batman, a young Bruce Wayne, really. He's inexperienced, and he's just starting out, and that's kind of the feeling I got from the voice. And, okay, next up, Bryan Cranston as Jim Gordon. Many of you may know Bryan Cranston from his most recent work on the TV AMC series Breaking Bad, but I remember him more as the dad from Malcolm in the Middle. But still, I was a little skeptical about him being Jim Gordon, but his voice really worked with Jim Gordon in this too, because that's also another. Sorry, I forgot to mention this, but also the story is pretty much about how Batman and Jim Gordon sort of form their friendship or start to ally themselves with each other. It's kind of it's kind of reaching that point. It ends off the point where Gordon pretty much realized that, okay, Batman is a hero, and he's here to help Gotham, and I can trust him. And, okay, and I think Bryan Cranston really did an amazing job with Jim Gordon, because, again, the story is, I'd say, at least 50% Jim Gordon and 50% Batman, and he did an amazing, and if not more, Jim Gordon. But I think Bryan Cranston did an amazing job of voicing Jim Gordon. It was just really good. Alright, next up, someone that also in year one, we also get some insight into the origins of Catwoman, who is voiced by Eliza Dushku. I gotta say, that's a good choice. Eliza Dushku's Catwoman is a brilliant choice, and there's also an DC Showcase animated short featuring Catwoman, and again, Eliza Dushku voices her in that too. And I think Eliza Dushku was definitely meant for the role of Catwoman. I mean, if they couldn't... I mean, even though I like Anne Hathaway, I kind of wish that in The Dark Knight Rises they could have Eliza Dushku playing Catwoman. She's got that certain bad girl quality to her that's just really awesome. Alright, well, back to the Batman Year One. It's an amazing movie. It's not really an origin story so much as just what happened the first year Bruce Wayne became Batman. It's what made Batman sort of, how did Batman first appear, how did he form his sort of friendship with Jim Gordon and stuff. I mean, it's very good, and I would say that both this movie and the graphic novel are a must-have for a Batman fan. I mean, if anyone ever asked me what kind of Batman stories, if one of my friends asked me, are there any good Batman stories, I'd probably recommend that they read Year One, because it's very amazing. And also this DVD, I purchased the single disc DVD though, because I'm cheap, and the only special feature here that I really can talk about is just a little bit of a sneak preview into the next DC movie, Justice League Doom, which brings back a lot of the voice actors from the Superman, Batman, Justice League cartoons, and also Nathan Fillion voicing Hal Jordan in it. But that's all I gotta say about Justice League Doom. This video is about Batman Year One, but still, the people, Bruce Timm, Andrea Romano, they did an amazing job taking this and turning it into this. It is a very well-written adaptation. It's very accurate and brilliant. You should definitely pick it up if you love this story. Then you should definitely pick this up, because it is worth your money. And I really hope that they do make the sequel. Apparently, after Year One, though, there was another story written called The Long Halloween, which is sort of a sequel to this. And I really hope they do make a sequel to this, an animated movie for Long Halloween, because that would be great. But hey, if not, a guy can dream, can't he? And that's all I have to say about Year One. Pick it up if you can. It's very good. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.